Hey everyone, it's April 21st, and that means that if today is your birthday, you share it with Robert Black, a famed Scottish serial killer known as Smelly Bob, who may have molested and murdered more than a dozen children. And that is him right up there. Black was born in 1947 near Edinburgh and was raised by foster parents in the 1950s. He had a difficult childhood, often being beaten by his foster family, and had very few friends. The other kids in school called him Smelly Robbie Tulip, and he would often get into fights with his classmates and engaged in petty crimes. When sent to Highland dance classes, he would lay on the floor and attempt to look up the kilts of girls as they danced the strathspey reel. Obsessed with human anatomy, he began experimenting with shoving objects up his rectum and fantasized about coating himself in his own feces. Black's foster mother died when he was just 11, and at the age of 12 he attempted his first serious crime, the rape of a classmate, but luckily he failed. He was sent to an orphanage where an older male employee molested him repeatedly for the next 3 years. At the age of 15, Black became a butcher's delivery boy, renting a room in a boys' home outside of Glasgow. He later admitted to molesting as many as 40 local girls while making his rounds. The next year, he was found guilty of raping a 7-year-old girl, but received just an admonishment, which is a form of discipline under Scots law that essentially means being given a stern warning not to do it again. Black was let go from his job, and he spent time in and out of prison through the rest of the 60s and 70s, often committing sexual offenses. He worked for part of that time as a swimming pool attendant in London, where he would break in after closing and swim laps with a broom handle lodged in his anus. Black eventually was hired to deliver promotional posters, often driving between England and Scotland, which allowed him to travel extensively across both countries. In 1982, his crimes escalated all the way to murder, sexually assaulting and killing an 11-year-old girl just on the English side of the border with Scotland. He struck again the next year, abducting, molesting, and killing a 5-year-old near Edinburgh, but dumped her body 300 miles away. Black followed that with the assault and murder of another young girl in 1986. In 1990, he was spotted when a girl entered his van, and a neighbor had the sense to write down his license plate number. When she was reported missing the next day, he was picked up and apprehended, and the girl was found bound and gagged in the back of his van, but otherwise unharmed. He was initially convicted of kidnapping and molesting the girl and received a life sentence, but after further investigation, Black was tried and convicted for the 3 murders in 1994. Evidence discovered after his incarceration indicates that he may also be responsible for another 10 missing children dating back as far as 1969, including the case of Jeanette Tate Devon in 1978, one of the most famous missing persons in the history of the United Kingdom. Prosecutors were preparing to charge Black with that murder when he died in a Northern Irish prison in 2016. If this is your birthday, leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday, and I hope you have a great day. If you know somebody whose birthday it is today, send them this video so they can find out all about their birthday twin. And to Robert Black, I have to say, happy birthday, you bastard.